Hey, brothers and sisters. So, I've tried to make this video a couple times and it keeps getting too long. It takes too long to upload it. So, I'm going to try to make this a little bit faster. But first off, I want to say it's been a while since I've made a video. And I just want to say thanks to everyone that has reached out to me, sent a message to me, asking me how I'm doing. I appreciate you guys' thoughts and your prayers. I had to take some time off of social media because I was going through some testing and trying to get from one season to the next season, and it was an extremely difficult transition for me. And the Lord had been telling me for a few months that I was in a transition phase and that I needed to push through it, but it got extremely difficult for me. And I discovered a lot of stuff about myself. I discovered a lot of stuff about other people. And so I want to take some of that stuff that I have received from the Lord about what I've learned and share that with you guys, because if you are a believer and you are trying to progress in your walk and your growth with the Lord, you're going to go through these experiences. So I'm just going to share a little bit about what the Lord shared with me. So the Lord, I'm going to be a little transparent with you guys today. So I've had a lot of stuff just turn upside down in my life. Everything from relationships to vehicles that aren't even that old, vehicles breaking down, appliances breaking down, our business run into some issues. Just all kinds of things started happening. And the Lord was not speaking to me through these things. When I tried to get some direction from Him, quiet. There was nothing. So my husband and I decided to go on a vacation months ago to go visit my family down south in Florida. And we invited the kids to go with us. And so this was supposed to be a vacation to go down, have everybody get together, because it's been years since any of us have seen each other. And some of the family has been even longer than some of the other ones. But it turned out me trying to escape, to get away from the stresses of life and everything, those stresses went right with us. And the vacation ended up being chaotic. I would later come to find out that the Lord had allowed a spirit of offense to test me while we were gone. And I was tested with that spirit of offense through multiple people in my family. I seen other people through a different light, and then I also seen myself through a different light as well. Things that I thought I had overcame, things that I thought I had worked on actually began to surface. And so I had to start working with those things. And I didn't understand them in the beginning. I was struggling with what was coming out of me, like things that I thought I had overcome, people that I thought I had forgiven, and walked away from, saying, hey, I love you, but I don't want to be around this situation. I don't want to be part of your drama. These people I thought that I had moved past and was no longer dealing with, they actually were coming along with me. There was like the baggage was being dragged, and not only was it a emotional baggage, and it became a physical baggage, because people that were not even invited to go on this vacation with us because of the drama of past issues, they actually came along with us. It began to become a situation that I did not expect. I went down to visit family, and it became a bigger, broader issue of dealing with people, situations, and spirits than anything. So what I thought I was getting away from, I actually wasn't. So I have been dealing with these things that the Lord has exposed to me that I thought was dealt with before. and I had to get off social media to do that. Honestly didn't feel like I had anything to offer to anybody else when I was struggling so much with the place I was coming from. And I would come to realize that that was the enemy speaking in my ear, because this was all part of God's plan. It was all part of the direction he was taking me. And sometimes the Lord has to put us into situations, circumstances, or with people to reveal things to us. And that's pretty much what happened. And I came to realize that I wasn't in control like I thought I was in control. And yet I'm not supposed to be in control. So that was one thing that the Lord began to minister to me, is you're not in control of anything. I'm in control of it all. And now you see what it's like to try to take control of something that you're never meant to take control of in the first place. So, which control and manipulation, all that was one thing that I've always struggled with my entire life. I've had issues with the Jezebel spirit, and last year, end of last year, beginning of this year, the Lord began to show me and work with me about manipulation, and how the manipulation that I had learned when I was growing up actually is, it's witchcraft. It's a form of witchcraft, manipulation, control, anything that you try to do to change someone's mind or thoughts, or try to get them to see things your way. It's witchcraft. So I found myself trying to change situations over the last few months, trying to maneuver, manipulate to get it to go this way, because that's the way I wanted it to go. And so I had to face the hard reality that you're not quite where you thought you were, Susan. And I think if we're all honest with ourselves, we're all going to come to that conclusion. And in the end, the Lord's saying, you're not ever going to be perfect in this, because if you could do it on your own, you wouldn't need a savior. You wouldn't need the Lord. So it was a really good reality that I still need a savior, and I still need him to help me through situations. So anyways, I came home and I was praying and seeking the Lord, and I finished a book that I actually started reading before I went on vacation. This book, it's a book of boundaries, a Sapphire edition from Tiffany Buckner, and this book actually is one of quite a few that I have read from her. And if you struggle with the Jezebel spirit, or knowing like what it means to be a submissive wife, or learning boundaries, I would highly suggest her channel, which is called Anointed Fire. She has a lot of really good teachings. She kind of has different groups of people that she ministers to, so you'll know if she's ministering to you or if she's ministering to another group of people when you watch her teachings. But anyway, sidebar. I don't want to make this video too long because it takes too long to upload it. But anyways, so I came home and I started reading the last 3 chapters that I needed to read in this book, which I tried to read before I went on vacation. I tried to read on vacation. There was so much chaos going on in my life that I literally could not read it. Fast forward, when I came home, I realized that the reason I didn't read it then is because it was meant for me to read after I got home. It was meant for me to receive so I could understand better what had happened to me the last few months, why things were so chaotic, why things were so crazy. And so I wrote down some notes that I had taken reading this last few chapters, and I just want to share this with you guys. So for anyone that is trying to move from one season to the next season with the Lord, this is going to be a message for you. I used to think that God assigned times for us as far as seasons, saying, okay, you need to be in this season for this amount of time, and once you get done with this time frame, then you get to move into the next season. But that's not the case at all. You're going to be in a season as long as it takes for you to get the material. So the quicker you learn it, the quicker you humble yourself, the quicker you'll be able to move to the next season. So I'm going to share with you guys some of the things that the Lord ministered to me when I was reading. So the Lord's always telling us to humble ourselves. And so one of the things that he revealed to me while I was reading this is that the goal of asking us to humble ourselves is so when we do humble ourselves, we don't take on the shape of our offender, which I thought was absolutely amazing, because if somebody offends us and we get aggressive or offensive back with them, we're no better than they are. So that's why the Lord's saying the goal of humility is so you don't look like them. You look different. So the Lord told me that we need to move past incidents in each season in order to get to the next season. And the Lord said, let them crucify you. Let them crucify you, because doing that, you're going to die to yourself. It's going to make it easier for you to get to the next season. So, and every season has a boundary and a shape to it. And the Lord told me to stop relating to my current season. Stop relating to where you are, because you're not supposed to stay there. You're not supposed to set up a tent or set up life in that section. You're just passing through that season. The Lord told me that once we pass through these seasons, He showed me different levels, like level 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Level 5 is where all of us come in at our entry level. It's where we don't know the Lord, and then we go up to level 1. When we get to level 1, that's when we are Christ-like and we reflect Him in all things. So the Lord is saying, when we start to move from level 5 up to level 4, up to level 3, the Lord's telling me, don't go back to try to pull people from levels below you to pull them up to where you are. Leave them where they are. Keep focusing on where you're going. Go up to level 1. That way you'll be strong. You'll have all the information that you need in order to reflect my Son, to be able to handle every fiery dart coming at you from the enemy. And then you can go back down to the lower levels and you can pull up the people that want to be pulled up, those who want to be rescued. So the Lord will eventually take you back around to help you recover people that He has asked you to lay down in seasons previously. And the one thing is, the Lord showed me that you cannot pull somebody forward. You can't pull somebody into another season, nor can you keep that person from climaxing in that season. And what I mean by that is, if you take, say you take a cheerleader or the quarterback of a football team for high school. In high school, sorry, my TV, I thought my power went out, but it didn't. What's my screensaver? Anyways, that cheerleader, that, it's just for light. They, usually in high school, they become that popular person. They peak in high school. Everyone knows them. Their name is a household name. They're popular. Everyone wants to be around them, wants to be with them. Like, they peak at that time. They peak or climax at that time in their life. Then later on, you see them at your 20-year class reunion, 30-year class reunion, and they're divorced. She's gained weight. He doesn't have hair. Like, there's all these things that have happened to this person. So what happened was they climaxed or peaked in their high school years. That's as high as they went. That time, and the Lord said, everyone's going to get a time to shine. Everyone that I created is going to get a time to shine. That person shined back in high school. After that, there was nowhere to go. They already peaked. So the Lord's saying, don't try to keep someone from peaking in that time. You need, if they're going to do it, they're going to peak, they're going to peak. So, and something else that He showed me, which was absolutely amazing. I thought He said, you cannot stay in an expired season to prove yourself to those who are stuck there. And that was a really big problem that I had for a long time, because people struggled with things in lower levels, and I moved a level or two ahead of them, and I'm like, come with me. Like, why can't you come with me? And I would try to go back and I would try to help them come up. I would try to prove to them, like, I've been there, I've done that, I can help you, let's go, But the Lord said, you cannot stay in that season because you want to prove to them who you are, who you've become, or how much you've learned. You got to keep moving. You got to go up to level 1. then you'll be able to come back down to level 2. The Lord also showed me and told me that one of the things we have to master is forgiveness. We have to master forgiveness, because if you master forgiveness, people will not master you. But if you don't master forgiveness repeatedly, people will master you. So in order to shift from one season to the next, the Lord says that we need to respect the social boundaries. We need to respect the boundaries of somebody else. If someone is stuck over here, or someone is struggling over here, or whatever, you have to respect the fact that that's where they are right now. You have to respect that boundary, and sometimes you have to leave them there. You have to forgive repeatedly if you want to move to the next season in your life. And this is a huge one, so big. I think if the Lord explained anything to me, this is it. You need to love them where they are. I don't know how many times I have struggled, especially like with, I'm just going to use my husband for an example, struggled with my husband, because he'll do something and I'll be like, really? Like, how come you can't come to like this level where I am? How come you can't see things on the level that I see them, or see it the way I see it? The Lord showed me he's only come so far. He doesn't know the Lord. He doesn't want to know the Lord right now. So this is where he is. So I need to love him and respect him where he is. The Lord told me that if we become offended by people that have hurt us or disappoint us, it's going to hold us back. So we can't become offended by something someone has said or something someone has done to us. We need to understand and recognize that this is where they are. This is what they have come to. This is the progression that they have. And we need to love them where they are and understand that that's where the Lord has them right now. We shouldn't write people off. Meaning, just because someone isn't where, they could possibly be, or they're struggling with something, doesn't mean that God's not going to use them later. He may want to use that person. He may have plans for that person. And he may want to take them to a higher level. But you have met them in the path before the Lord began working on them, before the Lord began dealing with that person. So, in essence, you have seen that person in their nakedness. You have seen them before the Lord began to deal with them. And how does he deal with them? The same way he dealt with us. Discipline and love. So, we may be looking at someone saying, well, you know what? You basically, you don't know what you're doing over there. I just don't see you getting where, I am, or I don't see you ever having a ministry or anything like that. I'm just going to write you off and forget about you, because there's a possibility that the Lord may absolutely use that person later on. And you may be part of that stepping stone before the Lord begins to pull them into their destiny or their future, or their purpose. Sorry, I have a little bit of a cough and I don't want it coming out. I've been asking the Lord, what does it mean to love somebody? What does it mean to love your enemies or love people that hurt you? And the Lord said, to love them means to understand what they are doing or have done to you, that it represents where they are now. It does not represent where they are going. So if somebody has done something to hurt you, persecute you, attack you, whatever it is, it's just where they are now in their walk. It doesn't mean they're going to stay there. Because if he chooses to go and get that person, and if they surrender to him, they're not staying there. He's going to lift them up, just like he lifted you up. Just like you surrendered, you gave your life to the Lord, you start surrendering to his ways of doing things, he's going to do the same thing to them. So the Lord said, love them where they are. Pray them into deliverance. Pray them into seasons. And not just one season. Pray them from season to season to season. This is another powerful thing that he said to me. He said, sometimes the people who crucify you in one season will be the ones who qualify you in the next. So each season is shaped like love. And if you don't have love, you're not going to fit into that season. As a matter of fact, you'll find yourself in recycled storms in an expired season. If you find yourself going through the same problems and the same issues over and over and over, this is going on for months and months or years and years, you are in recycled storms in expired seasons. The Lord doesn't want you there anymore. He wants you out of that season and into the next season. So to change seasons, this is what the Lord said, to change seasons and go from one season to the next season, you have to get past people and their opinions of you, or their opinions in general. A lot of us have faced rejection. We have been hurt. We have been betrayed. We have been talked about. We've been misunderstood. We've been judged. And the Lord said, you had to be rejected because I don't want you setting up your life in this season. So if you're not rejected, you'll get comfortable. You'll settle in here and then you won't move to where I want you. So you have to be rejected so you continue to move forward. Pray through the opposition and love through the storm. Now here's what the Lord showed me about what had happened to me over the last few months. Why things had increased and there was an intensity. As you get to the edge of a season, you will likely experience some of the heaviest storms. But sometimes the storms are coming from the demons in the season you're trying to get into. They don't want you to move to that season because each time you move to a season, you become less like yourself, more like Christ. And once you get so far into a season, once you get so far ahead, they won't be able to get a hold of you. They won't be able to pull you back or pull you down. So those demons in the season that you're trying to come into will join forces and partner up with the demons in the season that you're coming out of, because they want to keep you from advancing. So they will make things so hard for you that you're going to mess up and get to the edge and not be able to go forward, not be able to cross over into the next season. So they're going to try to keep you from advancing into the next season. This is when you'll experience the greatest pressure and the greatest betrayals in the people in your life. So the Lord said, don't go to the edge of the season, get hurt by the rejection, by the betrayal, by everything that you have to experience to get pushed into the next season. Don't get hurt and end up staying there. Keep moving. Keep going forward. Keep moving. God will heal you in the next season. And the Lord said, the password for each season is love. That's the password. Love, love. So if we have love, we're going to be able to move from season to season, and we'll be able to forgive the people that have hurt us and wronged us. And when we can understand that God doesn't do these things to punish us, He doesn't come in to try to make life hard for us. He does these things to shape us, mold us into the image of His Son. And when we can understand that the reason why we're going through something is because it's part of the Father's plan to make you shine, to buff out the rough edges, to make the crooked path straight. When we can understand it, it makes it just a little bit easier for us to stay on the path and keep moving forward. So I pray that this is a blessing to you guys, and I pray that it helps you on your journey. So if you're struggling to move from one season into the next season, then go back and write these things down, and just remember, love people where they are. Know that God may have a plan and a purpose for them, and that plan and purpose may come to fruition in their life when you do your part to help them find that direction. So keep moving forward and trust the Lord's plan for you, because He loves you. And even in the times of transition and when the seasons are changing, you're never alone. Even when it's quiet, you're never alone. He's always with you. So God bless you all, and I will be back as the Lord leads. God bless.